An unexpected encounter, to say the least. Princess Madeleine ran into her husband and mistress at a big party. For Chris O'Neill, it's become hard to explain. King Carl Gustaf, 75, was skeptical for a long time, but finally decided to admit that his daughter, Crown Princess Victoria, 44, had fallen in love with middle-class boyfriend Daniel Westling, 48, of Okelbo. The Crown Princess couple got married and their happiness was complete. Now, unfortunately, it seems that the marriage is about to collapse, and at the same time new details about quarrels and intrigues in the royal family are surfacing. It is well known that the king had long doubted whether Daniel Westling, a personal trainer and gym owner, was really suitable for Crown Princess Victoria. At the time, Prince Daniel had a rather unkempt and rustic style, and the king was concerned that he simply wasn't mature enough for the responsibility and duty of marrying the future head of state. But over time, King Carl Gustaf realized that his daughter's feelings for Daniel were genuine, and our monarch realized that he couldn't stop love. He gave Daniel the green light and also made sure that the young man from Okelbo was trained for his new role. Industrialist Bernd Magnusson, 81, became Daniel's mentor and firmly yet gently guided his young charge into the new world. Daniel quickly gained a lot of trust from the handsome company manager, and they both had a pleasant and special rapport. Thanks to Bernd Magnusson, Prince Daniel learned to relax and gained a whole new confidence in how to behave in fine salons. The relationship between King Carl Gustaf and Prince Daniel did not start off well, and it continues to be strained between father-in-law and son-in-law. Stop the Press has a story about how Prince Daniel completely soundly turned and walked away when he got into a discussion with the king, who is known to be strong-willed. Daniel just can't take the fight, he just walks away, which of course angers the king even more, according to a Stop a Prasarna informant. Stop. Earlier, the press reported how King Carl Gustaf refers to Prince Daniel as Okelbo in conversations with his closest friends. The king uses the prince's birthplace in descending degrees. During the divorce proceedings between Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel, the king sided with his daughter from the beginning. I think Victoria was almost a little bit surprised at how easy it was to get Daddy's support. There was no doubt at all, says a person in the court circle. It shouldn't be that the king was explicitly advising his daughter to get a divorce, but at the same time he made it clear that he supported Victoria in any decision she might make. He never hesitated when she said she was thinking of divorce. He decided, "Now that's enough, it's your decision and I stand behind you whatever you decide," the king is said to have said, says the informant. According to Stop a Prasarna, Prince Daniel, oddly enough, had a hard time accepting his role as Crown Princess Victoria's second fiddle. Like Prince Henrik in Denmark and Prince Philip in the UK, Prince Daniel has had trouble staying in his wife's shadow all the time. This is remarkable. That Prince Henrik, who was a French count, and Prince Philip, who was Greek royalty, felt frozen out is one thing, but Prince Daniel, who was actually a gym guy from the neighborhood around Eville, when he met Victoria, what the hell did he think he was doing? It's pretty remarkable that no one at court gave him a reprieve on this, if that's the case. I almost find it hard to believe, says former court reporter Stop a Prasarna. The king's biggest spat with Prince Daniel before the final divorce, which now threatens to be enforced, occurred just a year ago. The reason for the infected quarrel was their differing views on the Princess Estelle Cultural Foundation, which was founded by the Crown Princess couple in 2019 and which, among other things, buys artworks that are permanently exhibited at the Royal Djurgården. Prince Daniel is on the board, among others Governor Johan Eriksson as a member. They are assisted by a so-called art board consisting of Iris Muller-Westerman, 67, director of Moderna Museet in Malmö, longtime museum director Lars Nitf, 68, and Richard Julin, 55, art director. Gallery Accelerator in Stockholm. According to insiders, the king, who has the right to dispose of Royal Djurgården, was very unhappy with the way his son-in-law handled the foundation. The feud is also said to have led to a serious rift between Prince Daniel and the Royal Djurgården administration, which is responsible for the territory on behalf of the king. It's gotten to the point where employees no longer use his first name or title when referring to Daniel. Instead they say gym owner, and this should be seen as a sign, a source told Stapa Prasarna in connection with the news made public. Crown Princess Victoria is said to have been shocked and disturbed that her father and husband had fallen in love with each other. Victoria is a diplomat to the core but understandably finds it difficult to resolve this conflict. However she approaches the issue, she risks taking a stand and hurting one side, the informant said. The spat over how the cultural fund was handled is just one of several conflicts between King Carl Gustaf and Prince Daniel. The history between them risks creating new obstacles in the face of a looming divorce. The question really is how much the king cares about it. Sometimes I get the impression that he thinks it would be better if Victoria and Daniel separated, says a Stapa Prasarna informant.